That was a really great session, and I'm delighted that we've been able to have such a dynamic conversation, albeit in this virtual world. And I thank all of the speakers and the panelists for their contributions and the updates they've been able to provide us. I understand that the slides will be made available if anybody would care to see them. And if there is the Q&A follow-up to pursue, we'll get that out, and it might be that we answer those questions through a series of posts or information on the website. We'll look into how best we can communicate back to you all. I think Trevor touched on the letter that was sent to the wind industry over the summer period, and that was a bit of a jolt, I would say, and sitting and looking at the work that SafetyOn has been doing throughout that period, it really did prompt me to self-reflect a bit about, have we been complacent? Where have we dropped the ball? Is there something we're not moving sufficiently fast on? Are there areas of work that we're neglecting to follow through? And all of this with COVID rumbling on in the background, as you're all aware. And I think that it was good, again, just to have that refocus. And there's one thing that I reflect on very often with my team, and keeping in mind the fact that we have got everybody in the sector has got these growth plans. The government have been very clear on the trajectory that they want to follow as well. This is as quiet as we're going to get. So things are going to become more busy, and projects are going to be coming through, and investment in every sense of the word is going to have to come to the fore. So I think for me, we need to take stock and ensure that health and safety remains at the core of every decision that we're taking, and that we are mindful of the obligations and responsibilities that we have to our teams, to our employees, to our colleagues, to the industry in general, to the communities that cohabit with our projects as well, and that everybody is staying safe. I think the updates that we've given you around the work on COVID-19 and the 2020 work plan, I hope that's landed well with you and you understand what's been going on. And if you haven't yet looked at the published documents, they're all available on the website as well. And if you have got any questions, I know that the authors of those reports and the working group members of those reports would be more than happy to speak with you as well. And it is all about sharing that data, knowledge, and messaging and analysis that's happened to date. Looking ahead to 2021, again, we're not letting up. There's a lot of new topic, a new agenda coming in there, which will be great to see. I am particularly looking forward to seeing the first report in June around the data collation that we've done, and what does that actually mean for us and where we're going to go. And I think, having the people aspect being talked about to such an extent today has been helpful. Mental health was talked about at length last year. It's been a flavour throughout and peppered throughout today's session as well, talking about human factors as well. It really lands with me that we are very mindful as an industry of others around us. We are all living in this virtual world. We've all experienced those days where you're literally back to back on Teams meetings or got Zoom calls, and you barely have time to catch your breath, but occasionally you just have to say stop and take some time and make sure that your teams are doing likewise too. It is not going to be a flick of the switch with the vaccine coming in. We are going to have to transition out of that, and that is going to bring various concerns, risks, worries across all the populations that we've talked about. And what we can't do is have any of that stress or concern or worry overshadow some of the other health and safety issues that we also have to manage. So I think we're going to have to pay very close attention as an industry to the risk factors that we're all going to have to manage over the next 6 to 12 months as we come out of COVID-19. So I think Hugh's point about incumbency is utterly relevant as well, with the goals around net zero, the green industrial revolution and the green recovery and all the wonderful opportunity that holds. There does come responsibility, and all eyes are going to be on the onshore wind sector, because we are going to be the ones that are delivering in short order. There are offshore projects constructing right now, but even with allocation round 4, the next CFD auction coming through at the end of 2021, the projects that are going to deliver in the next 4 years out to 2025 are more than likely going to be the onshore projects. activities are going to be very much focused on in our patch, if you like. And whilst there are offshore projects continuing in their construction activity, we probably already know where they are. The number of projects that we need to manage and the thousands of turbines that are already in the operating fleet in the UK, and then we'll be joining as we go through this further investment, is something that we as a group, as SafetyOn, need to get our head around and make sure that we are covering all bases and supporting the industry and that growth plan from a health and safety perspective as well. I think a couple of other points that I'm reflecting on is about the sort of inclusive nature of our organisation. I've been really pleased that sense of openness and transparency and engagement has obviously resonated with certainly the speakers at the very least today, and I hope more of you as well. It was important that this wasn't set up as an exclusive developer-led club. It was important that we engaged into the supply chain at the deepest level so that we were getting that reverse pyramid that Ewan talked about, and there's certainly a lot more that can be done there. I think that a lot of those risks are best managed by those that are closest to them and understand them, and we need to work effectively across the piece to make sure that we are identifying and implementing appropriate mitigation where we possibly can. And if there is consistency in approach that can be gleaned through that, shared experience that can be gleaned through that, and ultimately any incidents avoided as a result, that will be viewed as a win in my books, and I look forward to seeing that as well. I guess just in closing, there's a couple of other thanks that I would like to mention. One to the Energy Institute and BIAPA in particular for the coordination and navigation of today's event. I appreciate that we're all used to a multitude of different platforms and a multitude of different formats, so everyone appears to be different, but that's how we're learning to be as agile and flexible. Thank you to all the speakers and panellists for making time to join today, in particular Trevor and Fiona. Really appreciate you coming in to share your views and give your feedback, and also to give your insight. And I very much look forward to seeing more of Fiona's analysis as we work over the next 12 months. And then finally, a special thank you to Hugh. This is probably going to be his last stakeholder event, given his intention to step down from his role as Chief Executive of Renewable UK. Personal thank you from me, and I'm sure the rest of SafetyOn will join, for his contribution and his participation and his enablement of engagement with the wider onshore sector as well. So a big thank you to from me on that one as well. So with that, I wish you all well. We're not going to have the same travel issues that you would have faced when you were leaving the SafetyOn event last year, least of all because a lot of us would have been heading off to the Green Energy Awards. Yeah, I think I appreciate the fact that everybody's here, supportive of SafetyOn. We certainly have by no means got this nailed. There's certainly a lot more to do. We have our work cut out for us given the amount of growth that we have planned as a sector and as an industry. But what I gathered from today is that we've absolutely got the buy-in, the collaboration, the coordination, and the willingness for us all to come together and make sure that health and safety remains a key focus and a #1 priority for us all. So thank you very much for your time today. Look forward to seeing you in person at some point very soon. And thanks very much again. Cheers. Bye-bye.